여러분 안녕하세요. 저는 지금 부산 모터쇼 현장에 나와 있고요. 제가 너무 좋아하는 브랜드죠. 저도 갖고 있고 너무 재밌게 타고 있는 미니 그리고 JCW가 있는데요. 제 미니의 고성능 모델이라고 할 수 있겠죠. 저는 지금 JCW의 시조새? 조상이라고 할 수 있는 존 쿠퍼 씨의 손잡은 찰리 쿠퍼 씨와 함께 있습니다. 인사부터 나눠주시죠.
안녕하세요. Hello.
네. I heard that this is 60th anniversary for JCW, right? What is your personal feeling about the 60s history, 60 years of history?
Yeah, it's incredible that the brand is so strong today. From what my grandfather started in 1962 is really strong, yeah, and it still has the same spirit and DNA that it had all the way back when he started. So yeah, and to be involved in projects like the anniversary edition, the mini pace setter is special as well.
Have you driven the pace setter?
Yes, yeah, I've
How
driven
was
it on circuit. Also early testing, so I've seen the development of the car all the way through. It's great. It's got proper racing adjustable suspension. It was developed with BMW Motorsport, so it's a proper, even though it's a safety car, it's like a proper race car.
Can you tell the difference between JCW models and Pacesetter? It's based on mini electric, right?
Yes.
What's the main difference between them?
The electric, so obviously it's the start of the JCW electrification journey. But electric has a lot of benefits in terms of performance. You have instant torque, so obviously that instant acceleration. When people drive any electric car for the first time, I think they're surprised with that, even non-performance models. So I think in the future, the JCW brand will have to use the best parts of electric power to kind of get that JCW performance element.
There was so many victories, in JCW history. In your memory or in your concern, what was the best scene do you reckon?
So I think even before the Mini, there was the Formula One victories. So I think winning the World Championship in 1959 and 1960 in Formula One was incredible because it changed motorsport and the automotive world forever. Because my grandfather put the engine in the back of the car and created a small car that was all about lightweight and performance. Because Formula One before that was about big engines and power, but he took handling and dynamics of handling to a new level. So that was, even before the Mini success, was probably the biggest success that kick-started the whole journey.
Well, for me, the best memory about the JCW was a few years ago. I've been in a passenger seat of the JCW Mini Coupe, driven by Rauno Aaltonen.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you know him?
Yes, yeah, I've met Rana a long time, many times.
Is he healthy?
Yeah, he's good. He still does passenger rides. He's still passionate. He's lots of energy as well.
Do you have that kind of memory too?
Yeah, my grandfather was obviously close with a lot of racing drivers and people involved in motorsport. So I remember actually meeting, when I was very young, Ayrton Senna.
Really?
And that was quite a special occasion. But I don't think I appreciated it. I was too small. But yeah, and my grandfather knew lots of people in F1 as well. So.
Can you tell me some beautiful memories about your grandfather? I guess he is quite different from usual grandfather.
I suppose I just thought of him as my granddad. So, but I do remember working in the garage. So in my school holidays, I would work, and he would tell me I'm not cleaning the cars fast enough, but a bit joking as well. I think his entrepreneurial spirit I learned a lot from. So he would always question why things are done a certain way. So, and my father had the same kind of attitude towards things. So, but stories, I mean, there's lots I've heard secondhand or stories he's told me. He was a bit of a joker, I think, back in the day as well. There's one story in Formula One. So he had a very young driver called Bruce McLaren, who started the McLaren brand. So obviously you have McLaren worldwide now. But he wanted to get his first drive in Formula One. and it was a big race. I think it was in Italy at Monza. And Bruce McLaren went to my granddad. He said, Mr. Cooper, I want to race. When can I race in Formula One the first time? He goes, you can race this, he says, you can drive this weekend. So he went up to him and said, here's the keys. You're driving the transporter truck to Monza. So he got the driver to drive all the way to, I think times were slightly different in the 60s than they are today.
You raced also, you also racing, right?
Yeah.
You started like 2018?
2017, I think was the first time I got in the car, yeah.
What makes you, I always curious about the passion, about racing.
Yeah.
For me, I'm not quite interested in winning or driving fast. I enjoy driving, but I'm an owner of a mini convertible.
Yeah, sure.
So it's enough. Cooper S is enough for me. But I'm curious about the passion for you and your father and the Cooper gene, DNA of Cooper family. I'm very curious about it.
I think you've driven on track though.
Yes.
Yeah? Do you not fall in love with it that first time you?
It was challenging, but it always wakes me up.
Yeah.
Every sales and
I didn't do it when I was younger, but kind of taking it when I was a bit older, I just fell in love with racing, and I'm a gentleman driver. I do it for fun. So, but that feeling of after a race, I think it's unique. There's not many feelings like it, especially when you're racing with other cars. And it'd be interesting. I wish more people could try it because it's quite a unique feeling. Motorsports are quite a difficult sport to get into. But it is incredible once you do it.
And also racing in Mini, it's unique. I especially enjoying, driving in Mini on the track.
Yeah.
How would you describe it, the feeling, compared to other racing cars?
Well, I think if you take the Mini road car, it's quite a good car to take on track because the handling is good, but it's also easy to drive. So I think you can instantly take the car near to its limit. Even a novice can experience that. So the Mini is a great car to take on circuit. But the Mini race cars I race, some of them they're beasts. Take a while to get used to. The Mini race cars are quite special.
I know many good things, good factors about Mini and JCW. And one thing was it released my tension and fatigue. It released everything. It was like 3 a.m. I was exhausted. But after like 10 or 15 minutes driving JCW in Seoul, everything was gone and I was, survived again. Do you have similar experience before?
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, when I drive, in terms of when I need to get somewhere, often it's a meeting in London and I cycle because I like to cycle. But when I drive, maybe at the weekends or long distance, I like to enjoy driving, and that's why I still drive a Mini because I enjoy the process of getting in my Mini and enjoying getting from A to B. Okay. So I think autonomous cars will never appeal to me because I like driving. When I get in my classic race car, so I kind of feel special when I get in that, and time just slips away when I sit in that, and yeah.
But there are so many people out there who are still complaining about Mini. It's too small, it's too too tight, suspension is too tight and everything. What did you say to them to persuade them?
Well, I think the DNA in the Mini is about a small car, small footprint. And that's what Mini's about. That's what I said to other people, that the good thing about Mini, it can appeal to a lot of people, but I suppose if you don't want a smaller car, obviously the range is expanding now. We have the Clubman and the Countryman. But even in those segments, like the Mini SUV, the Mini will still be on the smaller side. A Mini, it's in the name.
JCW also, and people think that Cooper S is enough for me.
Yeah.
Why should I buy JCW? What did you say to them?
So I think that was why my father started JCW. He saw that there was an opportunity to make the car have better performance, to have more sporty trim. Yes, the JCW isn't for everyone, but I think if you want that added level of performance, And obviously, like I said, it's the trim is a bit more aggressive, a bit sportier, like the wheels, things like that. I think that has an appeal to people. So yeah, maybe not for everyone, but definitely people that want that extra level of performance.
I saw some interesting factor, interesting character when I see Mini owners, Mini enthusiasts. Do you feel the same way in UK too?
Yes.
What would you describe them? Mini owners. What is the characters of them?
Obviously, there's a big group that are hugely passionate about minis, that have classic minis. They always buy a new mini. So there's an obsession that is a part of a big part of the community. But I think quite often people buy a mini if they buy it the first time, they start to fall in love with the brand and become part of that community. Yeah. And I think the slogan we have is big love, obviously, and I think people do fall in love with the brand and the car. And once you have a Mini, I think you continue to have Minis. So. And I think a lot of the people that say Mini's not for me, they're probably someone that's never owned a Mini.
Okay. And as an ambassador, what would you describe your life, your personal life, everyday life as an JCW ambassador?
I'm very lucky to be involved in projects with the central team at Mini in Munich and in Oxford as well. So I was involved obviously in the design of the special edition and the pace setter. And I love talking about the brand. I get to travel all over the world. In my day job, I started a bicycle brand, which Cooper Bikes, which we've recently handed over to our partners who are running the business. So yeah, I'm an entrepreneur and businessman at heart as well, but that works really well with my lifestyle as an ambassador. And hopefully long may it continue. So I like making and building things as well. So I've got a few projects underway of new startups. So, and I'm investing in other startups as well myself. So
I heard that Mini Cooper is the only brand that still alive with founder's name on it. I think it's heavy responsibility on your shoulders.
Yeah. I feel very passionate when I speak to the team. If there's something I'm not sure about, hopefully they appreciate my feedback as well, because obviously the BMW Group is a big business, but they've always understood the brand, and I think that's why it's so successful today. There's some other historic heritage brands, especially in the automotive world, that have disappeared. And I think that's because maybe the parent company hasn't understood what the brand is about or how to use that. So I think Mini's in a good position because of the BMW Group understands what the brand's about. So yeah, hopefully I add the Cooper spirit to some of the projects and the brand moving forward.
What is Cooper spirit?
So Cooper spirit is, I think, just seeing something and maximizing its potential. So if trying to make things better, that may seem good already, but seeing that you can make them better in a way. So it obviously manifests itself in performance, but it's more than that. It's more like, okay, how can we make, for instance, what people don't know is my grandfather obviously made the Mini into a race car, but he also, with the Mini Cooper, said, oh, I'll make nicer leather seats. So he was doing that before automotive companies had. So I think that the Cooper spirit's just seeing something and trying to make it even better and maximising its potential.
For the last question, 3 best things about JCW to our audience.
3 best things?
Yes.
There was 5 words I did earlier. If I was to describe the best things, obviously one of them was there's a passion there.
Passion.
So passion in the brand, passion for maximising, like I said, performance. So you get the best performance from the Mini brand. And for me, it's a family story, JCW. You can be part of that family as well. And there's a Mini community that's part of a family. So it seemed lots of other performance brands can seem very cold and like technical, but you can get all of that, but in a family kind of feeling and be part of a bigger community. So I think that's what's special about JCW that's different to other automotive brands a lot of the time. JCW 사세요.
It's very nice. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.